Are you tired of hearing about the same old overrated places to travel to? I get it. Most people talk about places like Lisbon, Chiang Mai, or Mexico City. But there are some cities that are starting to get real attention, and they're still under the radar. These places aren't just cheaper to live in, they're easier to settle into, friendlier to remote workers, and starting to build incredible communities of nomads, expats, and even retirees. A few years ago, they barely made it into travel blogs, but now they're picking up steam, and 2026 might be the year they go global. Let's take a closer look. City 1. Tbilisi. Georgia has gone from a quiet capital to a rising star for remote workers. It's one of the few places where you can stay for a whole year without a visa if you're from the US, EU, or many other countries. Tbilisi itself is full of character. There's a mix of old buildings, hilly streets, and modern cafes with fast internet. You can eat well and live comfortably without spending much. A one-bedroom in the center might cost just 350 to 500 euros. The atmosphere is laid back but exciting, with more co-working spots and events popping up all the time. City 2. Medellin. Colombia used to be off-limits for a lot of travelers because of its past, but now it's one of the most popular spots for young nomads in Latin America. The weather helps. It's known as the City of Eternal Spring because it stays mild all year. But it's also about the community. Remote workers are setting up base here, and co-living places are everywhere. It's also cheap. A comfortable apartment can cost under 500 euros a month, and food and transport are affordable. There's good Wi-Fi, growing startup spaces, and a real buzz in the city. Safety has improved a lot, especially in areas like El Poblado and Laureles. City 3. Kaunas. Lithuania might surprise people, but it's starting to build a name for itself. It's not as busy as Vilnius, the capital, but that's part of the charm. It's clean, organized, and full of students and creatives. The tech scene is picking up and internet speed is no problem here. Since Lithuania is part of the EU, Kaunas is a solid choice for people looking for a base in Europe. Rent is low. You can find a nice one-bedroom for around 400 euros, and it's close to other countries like Poland and Latvia. It's the kind of place where you can focus, work, and take weekend trips to new cities without much hassle. City 4. Da Nang. Vietnam has a bit of everything. It's a coastal city, so you get beaches, but it's also growing fast. The airport is international, there are modern hospitals and good internet, and it's safer and calmer than bigger cities like Ho Chi Minh City. Vietnam doesn't have a full digital nomad visa yet, but their e-visas are getting easier to use, and many people stay long-term with business or tourist visas. Living costs are low. Street food is tasty and cheap, and you can rent a modern apartment for around 300 to 500 euros. Add the beach, the mountains nearby, and a relaxed daily life, and it's clear why more expats are moving in. City 5. Tirana, Albania, is another place that's suddenly showing up in travel conversations. Americans can stay there for a year without a visa, which is pretty rare in Europe, and it's still affordable. You can rent an apartment in the city center for 400 to 600 euros, and the overall cost of living is lower than in most other European cities. Tirana has wide streets, mountain views, a growing cafe scene, and people are generally open and welcoming. It's a walkable place with a relaxed vibe. Plus, with more remote workers heading in, there's a fresh energy around. It's still a bit off the tourist trail, which makes it feel more local and less crowded. City 6. Tallinn. Estonia is great if you want everything to just work. Estonia is famous for being one of the most digital countries in the world. Their e-residency lets you start a business online even if you don't live there. And they've got a digital nomad visa, so if you work remotely and meet the income requirement, you can stay legally. Tallinn itself feels like a fairy tale town, but it runs on tech. It's super clean, safe, and easy to get around. Internet is fast, payments are usually cashless, and public services are all online. It's a little more expensive than places like Georgia or Albania, but the quality of life is high. City 7. Puebla. Mexico is close to Mexico City, but a lot more relaxed. It's rich in culture, with colonial buildings, local markets, and food that's famous all over the country. But it's also becoming a quieter, more affordable option for people who want city life without the noise and stress of Mexico City. Living costs are low. You can live comfortably for around $1,000 to $1,200 a month. Co-working spots are showing up, the historic center is safe, and there are good transport links to other parts of the country. It's a great place to learn Spanish too, with fewer tourists than the big-name cities. City 8. Belgrade. Serbia is full of life. It's not polished, and that's part of the appeal. There's a strong expat scene with digital nomads, creatives, and freelancers from all over. Belgrade is one of the most affordable capitals in Europe. Rent is cheap, food is tasty, and nights are always buzzing. It's known for its nightlife, but there's also a growing number of cafes and co-working spots where people work during the day. Serbia doesn't have a specific digital nomad visa yet, but many visitors stay on short-term visas and renew or leave the country for a bit before returning. The government has been talking about updating its rules, so things may change soon. City 9. Amman. Jordan doesn't usually show up on digital nomad lists, but it's starting to get noticed. It's a good base for exploring the Middle East, and has decent infrastructure for long-term stays. The city is getting safer and more stable, and it offers access to beautiful places like Petra, Wadi Rum, and the Dead Sea. English is widely spoken, and the local food is great. It's not the cheapest on this list, as rents and import prices can be a bit high, but if you're looking for something different with real history and friendly people, Amman might surprise you. Tourism is growing, but it still feels like a hidden gem. City 10. Osaka. Japan is already well known, but it's expected to get a lot more attention in 2026 because of the World Expo. Japan is doing a lot of building and improving before the event, and Osaka is one of the cities getting a big upgrade. It's less crowded than Tokyo, and easier to manage for everyday life. Public transport is great, the streets are clean, and people are helpful. It's more relaxed but still exciting, with incredible food and a strong sense of culture. It's not cheap, but it's still more affordable than Tokyo, and more livable if you're planning to stay a while. These cities are all getting noticed for different reasons. Some are great for beach life, others for business, and others for a calm retirement. But they all have a few things in common. They're cheaper than the big tourist cities, they're more welcoming to remote workers, and they're building real communities of people who want something different. A few years ago, these places were barely on the radar. Now they're starting to trend in forums, social media, and even in migration data. So if you're thinking about making a move in 2026, these cities might be worth looking into before they get too popular. The best time to settle into a new place is before it becomes the next big thing. Which of these cities would you actually consider living in? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this helpful or interesting, don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this.